Hello again. I already got some feedback on some of these blogs. Wow. I'm glad that everybody's seeming to like them so far. As you can see, do have a little bit of a sense of humor. It shows up a little bit more doing this than it does in my writing. Anyway, I was talking to a good friend of mine, Leslie Cottle, and we were talking about the movie that just came out called Paranormal Activity. And I have been dubbed by some a paranormal expert. And in case you're wondering, that's an ancient Native American term that means him, live 'em, wump 'em, bad shit. Okay? So, just so you know, I've experienced a lot of very weird things in my life. Immediately after watching the movie today, I had to watch something else because it really hit home. And I'm going to talk a little bit serious now and talk about a few things in that movie. First of all, I was very impressed with how it was done. And that's part of the reason why it was so disturbing to me, was because it was pretty accurate. It was a pretty accurate description or depiction of things that I've been through, things that I know that other people have been through in their lives. These things do happen, and they do happen in that way. And I want to explain some of it, because throughout the movie there are some triggers that I noticed, things that you just simply do not do. First off, let's just say there are entities, and there are good ones and there are bad ones. When they bring in the psychic dude in the movie, I've had that same conversation with people verbatim. I mean, it could have been pretty much quote unquote. And I was really impressed with that as well. But anyway, challenging these things, unless you know what you're doing, is dangerous. Okay? Don't play with it. Ouija boards, let's talk about Ouija boards for a second. This is a very important topic, especially for the teenagers out there. You hear a lot of bad stories about Ouija boards. You know why? Here's one reason. When are Ouija boards usually used? They're used at parties. Let's get drunk and talk to spirits. Yeah, not a good idea. Out of curiosity, one time I looked up the instructions for an Ouija board, just to see what it says. And it says to ask if there are any spirits around. And it says if you don't get a response, demand to be contacted. Warning, 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 warning. Don't do that. Okay? As a medium, Ouija boards scare me. And they scare me in the same aspect that electricity scares me. I work with electricity every day. I have a lot of respect for it. I know what it can do, and therefore I work around it in a safe manner. Using a Ouija board is not it's not a good idea, because you hear people say that it opens a window, it's too wide of a bandwidth. And that's true, because you're not being specific about what you want to talk about. Anyway, so people get drunk, they start talking, they start demanding, and bad things happen. Okay? Imagine that. What were you expecting? Really? Come on. In the movie, the guy keeps wanting to challenge it. He sees it as exciting, sees it as fun. And I've known a lot of people that did that. They would see it as something new and exciting and fun, and let's play with it. Oh, how cool it is. Let's video it. Let's take pictures of it. Yay. No. Not cool. These things, like I said, I've had some experiences in my life that I've had to deal with entities such as that. It's not fun. It's not something I look forward to. It's just something that just kept happening to me for some reason. I won't go into details on that, because for me to go into details on that is for me to tell another person's story, and I really don't want to do that. That's why I like to keep it kind of general. When things like that start happening, contact somebody that knows something about what they're doing. Okay. It can get very dangerous. It can get very frightening. And the way it works is, and you see it throughout the movie, is it starts off small and it triggers a little bit of fear. And that little bit of fear triggers another event. And that gets a little more fear. And it keeps escalating and it compounds itself exponentially. And before you know it, you have lost so much sleep. You are so stressed out. You are so nerve-wracked by everything that your own defenses are shot. There is nothing left. And at that time, at that point, is when the really, really bad things happen. Okay? The other thing is, I don't know if anybody's seen The Exorcism of Emily Rose. It was actually based on a true case of a girl named Annalise Michel. Okay? Fascinating story. I would encourage you to look it up and read about it. And then once I start getting some feedback from that, I'll come on and I'll discuss what I feel about that case. But as a warning or a caution to people, don't mess with things you don't understand. Don't tempt what's out there under some false notion that there's no such thing as evil. Okay? There is. Trust me. I'm not gonna we can argue about it, but for me it is what it is. I've been up close and personal with it. Don't mess with it. If you have experiences like that, contact me and we will talk about it. Okay? But the movie is very good. I would not recommend it for anybody who is easily disturbed, because it is a disturbing video. It is a disturbing movie. It really is. But it's also very, very accurate in how these things work. So with me saying that, I'm going to stop right there on that subject and get some feedback, some questions, some comments, some experiences, and depending on the feedback that I get, I'll come back on here and I'll do a follow-up to this little section. Talk to you later.